Hey, I've got a solution, maybe possible. Check it out for this post in the chat race community. So Humano has what caught my attention was this over here. We need a dynamic database that is flexible enough for us to just update a value in a Google Sheet, and the bot will have the data available. I can show you my solution and you can have a look at it and see what you think. So what you need to do is the my own AI RAG system is called Hilton AI, and what you'll need to do is obviously you need to create an account so that you can get access to the API, and it's not cheap. So, but it could be a solution. It depends on your use case, right? So you'll need to pick your chatbot that you want. I'm just going to show you the information that you want. So I'm using this one here, AI tool list. And in settings, you need to get your chatbot ID, okay? Number one, get your chatbot ID. Number two, you need to go into settings and go to your webhooks API, and then you need to get your chatrobot-sessionkey. This is like the API key. It gives you the authentication to use the API. So don't get confused with the session key, because we're going to use that terminology later in the conversation. Then, so you got your two things. Now, if you go to where is it? I don't see it at the moment. Okay, I don't see the links for the endpoints, but I can show you the endpoints in the integration. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start building the integration, and then once we've built the integration, we can then look at the Google Sheet feature. So let me just explain this flow, and obviously you're going to have to follow along and copy it. I've got a custom field called NO session ID. This is a white label of New Oaks. So NO stands for New Oaks session ID. And what you then are going to do is check to see if it exists. If it doesn't exist, you're going to go and get it. Let me show you how you get it. So this is the request URL. So you can just screenshot that. Now your serial number is the chatbot ID that is in your settings, chatbot ID. And so you put that in. You need to have your API key access, which they call the chatrobot-sessionkey, and you drop that in there. And then in your header also you got your content type application JSON, and then in your response mapping, that is your path $.data.session ID, and then I've saved it to a custom field called New York Session ID. So once the user has got a session ID, then every conversation for that user it keeps the context. Without using the session ID, then that's going to be a new conversation every time. So you need to have that established. And on the next, I've made this a default reply. So every time they come in here, they will just skip if they've got a session ID, they will just skip it and go to the next API call. On the first instance, they will get a welcome message. I'm using a static message here, and yeah, then we need to do the second API call. So this endpoint is called client ask. I'll just let you see it. HTTPS US API. So you can just screenshot that. Now this is your session ID. This is where you got it in the previous integration. So I've put it into that custom field there. And then your content is your last input. And then use stream, you set that to false. And then on your response mapping, your response, so your headers, let me just show you your headers. This is your, again, it's like your API key. It's your authentication into using the API. And then your content type is application JSON. Your response mapping, you're getting $.data.content, and you're sending it to AI response. This will be what is output to the user. Okay. So let's zoom out of here. So once you go and get the conversation, you then bring that and you show it here to the user. And then on the second interaction, it'll just come in here. It'll bypass it. It'll just be there, there, and there. Just that one, and that one. And just keep going. These here you don't have to know. They're there for testing. So I can show you this. If I go here to preview it, of course I've already established, I already have a session ID, I already have conversation in there, but I'll just show you what so that is responding to my last whatever is in my my last user input type of thing. So I'm just going to go, who are you? It should tell me that it's the AI tool chatbot. Just waiting for it to respond. I'm Chica, your friendly AI assistant specializing in helping you discover the best AI tools. All right, so let me show you in ChatRace here. If you go to, let me use this one here. If you go to settings, this isn't good information, it's just showing you. And if you go to integrations and you go to OpenAI, I haven't even connected OpenAI because I don't need it, because I'm using the RAG in my platform over here, and now I'm going to show you how this gets set up. Okay, so let's go to my chatbot. Let's get this one that I'm using, and then in here we got leads, and in leads we got the chat logs, and then the last conversation is at the top here, and who are you? Here's the conversation. So we can actually retrain it over here and give the appropriate response. Now that's not really what I want to show you. What I want to show you is in the sources. In the sources you can upload files, text, website, scrape websites. You can add Q&As, and then, but this is the one that you're interested in, is the Google Sheets. So if we click on the Google Sheets, you'll see that I have a Google Sheet over here. It's got a list of all of my tools. You have to use the custom sheet that they provide, and it is the first two columns. You cannot change these, but then you can add as many columns as you want, and you can call them whatever you like. All right, where are we? So now the interesting part for you is here, where you go your Google Sheets settings, and you can have two options. You can schedule, so we can go enable scheduled. You can be every 7 days, every 12 hours, every 10 days, whatever. Here's your options, okay? And then there's a third option. So the first option is you just come over here and you do manually. You'd update the Google Sheet, and you come back and you just put the URL in again and train it manually. This way you can just schedule it to run every 12 hours every day or whatever. But there's also this feature here, auto sync, and there's a guide over here on how to do it, but you need to install an app script, and it's provided, and that you will, every time you update the Google Sheet, it will trigger and it will automatically sync. So yeah, if you want to try that out and have a look at it. So let's go back over here. Let me read what I said. I use the third party. Let's test this. You could split test and monitor the results for the RAG as opposed to. So I've said over here, let's test this. So Humano, I am happy to test this with you because you have this use case. This is not open to everyone here, but to Humano it's open. I'm happy to test this, which what means is that on here the professional plan is where you can get access to your API keys. Where is it? Yeah, webhook API. It only becomes available on the 99 per month plan, but to test it out, I'm happy to put you in on, because you're free to try. You only get this, okay? But I'm happy to put you in on the professional plan for you to test it for an indefinite amount of time, so that you can do some testing. Obviously not some. I'm talking more than 14 days, but not like more than 14 weeks or something like that. So if it works and if it's going to be cost effective for you, then you can take over and get a plan. But I'm happy to sit down with you and get it set up and test it and see if it actually is a solution. What I was thinking is you could split test this. You can run what you have, and then you can have half the people going through this RAG system and the other half through the system that you already have. So yeah, reach out if you're interested. Cool. Thanks for watching, guys, and hope that it's a good solution for RAG. I'll catch you later. Cheers.